A bank robbery drill was underway when unexpectedly, the police officer playing the robber took it too seriously. Someone got impatient and asked how long he was going to lock them up. Hearing this, the robber pulled the person aside and immediately started doing push-ups. Everyone stood up and watched, wondering what on earth was going on. Just a few hours earlier, police chief had looked at the bank in a panic. He had told the officer to make it realistic, but never expected it to be too realistic. Now the police couldn't even rush into the bank. Inside the bank, a teller looked at the robber and said it was just a drill, so he didn't need to be so serious. The robber glanced at her. At this point, an undercover police officer who had died on the ground suddenly stood up, grabbed the robber's gun, said he was wearing a bulletproof vest, and declared the drill over. But then a boy suddenly stood up and said the robber had already shot him in the head. The officer widened his eyes and said, "Impossible. Do you have proof?" With no choice, the officer lay back down on the ground. Outside, the SWAT team had arrived. The chief saw them and got anxious, not wanting them to steal the credit. Fortunately, he had arranged for a female martial arts instructor to be inside the bank. At this moment, the instructor raised her hand and said she needed to use the restroom. The robber took off her badge, but then the police outside started discussing. They said that in a fight between fists and guns, beyond 7 steps the gun was faster, but within 7 steps, the gun was both fast and accurate. Unfortunately, 2 police officers had already died heroically. At this point, the police officer's phone rang. It was his mother. The robber answered the phone and said, "Sorry, your son died a few minutes ago." Outside, the SWAT team leader looked at the map and planned to enter the bank through the back door of the vault. Little did he know, the robber inside the bank was also looking at the map. He took out his notebook and noted that at the 60-minute mark, the police would attempt their first assault. So he called the bank manager and told him to shut off all the ventilation systems inside the vault. Soon, the SWAT officers inside the vault started having trouble breathing and lay by the door, unable to move. The robber checked the time, decided it should be enough, and told the manager to open the door. A group of SWAT officers rushed out, gasping for fresh air, while the robber calmly put dead badges on them. Wow, just 1 hour into the drill, 2 police officers and an entire SWAT team had died. As night fell, the rescue operation came to a standstill. A reporter interviewed the robber's colleague and learned that he used to be a criminal police officer, but was demoted to traffic police after investigating the mayor's corruption case. Now, what was originally only covered by the local TV station had become a national story. Seeing this, the police chief wanted to clear the media away. Inside the bank, a pregnant woman suddenly screamed that she was going into labor. With no choice, the robber had to pause the drill and send the pregnant woman out in an ambulance. The chief looked at the robber angrily and told him to wrap things up, but the robber said that, according to what a typical robber would do, since he had let one person go, someone else had to come in as a replacement. The chief smiled. This was his chance to shine. He quickly volunteered. But the robber simply took the cameraman from the TV station instead. The chief was furious. As soon as the robber went back inside, the chief ordered the snipers to take their positions and shoot him on the spot. But after 2 gunshots, someone inside pulled back the curtains in confusion, accidentally killing a hostage. The police had completely lost face.